think through the questions here. I think the first question really relates to, what would happen to our total exports and total trade balance, at least in the automotive sector, without NAFTA. And I have no doubt that it would become worse, that a lot of sourcing that occurs today from the United States would not occur, and it would be harmful. I believe without NAFTA, the trade deficit will grow, and unfortunately could grow substantially. So it has lots of potential negative ramifications. That'd be just one of them. In terms of the state of the negotiations, I think we're very concerned with where the negotiations are and have been. I think it's safe to say we've been concerned since the second round of Mexico City in terms of the tenor of the negotiation, the open talk of parties withdrawing from the renegotiation and that sort of thing. So we're very concerned about where the negotiations are at. We're still hopeful. We still believe that the three parties do want to renegotiate. All three parties want to renegotiate a new agreement. But based on where things are today, I think there's not a lot of reason to be optimistic about the negotiations, unless you're an optimist, and I'm an optimist. So we're going to hope that this works out. In terms of the administration, I think just driving home how important this is to U.S. competitiveness is, I think, an argument that can work, and I think we've seen it work in some cases. Without NAFTA, our Asian competitors are going to be the real winners in that. The United States will lose, and Asian economies that we compete with every day will win if we were to end or withdraw from the NAFTA.
Well, thank you. I won't refer to the first question that was more specific to Governor Blunt, but let me tell you two things. First of all, Canada, to this point, I think we remain hopeful. We're going to stay at the table because I think someone said, do the parties want to renegotiate? Yes, they do. Right now, they're at a point where they've made a lot of great progress. So this is, I'll play the Canadian side. They've made a lot of progress on a lot of chapters related to modernization. There was a great recognition of SMEs as the importance of SMEs in terms of our North American economy. The stuff they're doing right now, I think, will be, it's tough sledding, as we say in Canada, but I think we'll get through it. And if not, Canada will continue to try to, put its view forward in terms of we need trade. Whether it's a NAFTA that doesn't get changed or without NAFTA, we need to trade. That's our stock of trade in Canada. What I would say to the president, and I like the way you said it, it's got to be a win. Well, the win is North America as a trading bloc can be stronger and strong enough to compete with Asia and with Europe. And to look at it from the point of view, you can be the king of North America. And our Prime Minister, I know there's people from the embassy, the Prime Minister wouldn't mind letting him say that. You can be king of North American trade. So North America can compete against the world, and you drag the Mexicans and Canadians kicking and screaming to a table where NAFTA is going to be the strongest trading bloc in the world. That's an idea. So because it does make sense.
Yeah, just to quickly go through, I think there's no doubt without NAFTA, the U.S. trade deficit would be worse. Certainly it would be worse for steel, and I think overall it would be worse. So I think there's no doubt about that. How the negotiations are going far, I agree with Dennis. I think there actually is progress being made in some of the more technical areas, maybe not getting as much public attention. This is a hard thing to do, to renegotiate, to update a rather complex and very important agreement. And I think perhaps expectations of how much could be done in a very short period of time came in a little bit too high. It's going to take longer than originally seen, and I think the negotiators have already acknowledged that by extending the time frame into next year. I think the key is to get the agreement right, and so we need to take the amount of time necessary to get it right, because it is crucial. Because I would say, to follow on Dennis's comments, the message to President Trump is, Mr. President, we need the NAFTA because it helps us win in the bigger competition, the competition with China, with Europe, with around the world. And so if we want to win, we need to make NAFTA work. But we can strengthen it so we have a better chance to win.
Great. Well, I just want to thank all of the panelists for what was a remarkably informative and thoughtful, but also a very fact-based discussion of what the current status of this is and what the different permutations would mean. So thank you all three of you, and please, audience, join me in thanking. Thank you, Bruce.